Hi guys, and welcome to your daily tarot reading for Monday, the 6th of July, 2020. Thanks for joining me. I'm using the Universal Tarot for this reading. Let's have a look at the Universal Tarot. And this is another deck that's based on the original Rider-Waite deck. And they've updated it and made the colors a little bit brighter and made changes as they see fit, but it's still based on the original Rider-Waite deck. That is why I usually recommend that if you are learning the tarot, please learn the meaning of the Rider-Waite cards or the Radiant Rider-Waite cards, or these cards, to be honest, because most other decks are based on them. And if you learn this deck, you've got all the others. So you're taking a huge shortcut. If you find the tarot very complicated, then take my course. I'm very good at breaking things down and simplifying them, I think, and not overcomplicating them when they don't need to be. So I've got a course on my website, gregoryscott.com. Just have a look at that. It's very affordable, and by the end of it, you'll be able to read not only the Rider-Waite tarot, but a lot of other tarot decks. So here we go. We have the Five of Cups, we have Death, and we have the Knave of Swords. Wow. The Five of Cups is a minor arcana card. It's a temporary influence. It's grief. You can see that quite clearly. That's the wonderful thing about the tarot as well. You don't have to really be a rocket scientist to realize that this isn't Disneyland, is it? It's grieving. He's sad. So he's looking at the three cups that are spilled. Then we've got a major arcana card, Death. That's a fundamental theme in life. The inexorable force of death coming our way and taking us out, whether we like it or not. And it's something that just is. And then we have a court card, and that represents a character, a type of personality, a person in itself, or a drive, a type of behavior that you associate with a certain person. And the Knave of Swords is like the Page of Swords / the Knight of Swords. He's not a page because he's not this young kid. He's a young man, an adolescent, holding the sword. And those cards are about traits within you that are highlighted on the day, or actual people that you meet. And the Knight of Swords is about managing your ideas and making decisions and taking action on what it is you want to do. And it surprises me in this deck, he's wearing a lot of red and yellow, and that's usually reserved for the Knight of Wands, who's concerned with his purpose and what gives him passion and fire in life. The Knight of Swords usually is much cooler in his temperament. He thinks and he makes decisions based on facts and figures. This one seems to be struggling with making decisions that are simply based on logic, and what he's bringing into it is, will this make me happy? Is this something I care about? Will I care about it in a year, or is this something that I'm just doing now? And I don't think that's a bad thing. So altogether, it means that this tendency to look at the glass half empty instead of half full, so 3 cups are spilled, right? All the water's gone. But he's got 2 cups here, which are still upright. So it's like he's lost most of what he had. He's still got some left. Great, that's not a wonderful comfort. If you go up to him and you say, stop whining about the 3 cups that have spilled, you still got 2 cups that are standing up. You're speaking the truth and you're being fair, but he's not going to appreciate that because he's grieving. And he's saying, I'm not interested in what I've still got. My perspective is on what I've lost, and I'm going to mourn that, and I'm going to be depressed about it, and that's my right. Don't tell me how to feel, okay? You can't tell someone how to feel. He's totally justified in doing that. He has lost 3 cups. But another person would look at this and say, do you know what? I could have lost all 5. And that's maturity. Because once you get on a little bit in life, you start to realize that the world doesn't owe you anything. You could have lost everything, and you have in the past. So be grateful that you've still got something. Yes, I know it's not perfect, but be grateful, buddy, that you still do have 2 cups which are upright, and try and do something with that. Now, this tendency to be overly reactive emotionally and to look at the negative, that kind of dies today. there's an end to this. You don't want to be like that today. You're like, okay, I'm not. And also the past, he's looking to the left. So this one's moving into the future. We've got sunrise here. A new day. We're leaving this sort of self-pity behind. We're leaving behind a tendency to only look at the negative stuff, to only be focused on what has been lost instead of what you have. And also to practice gratitude and to realize that things could be worse. And death rides in and sorts that out for you, that tendency, that temporary kind of character and that character defect as such. Is it a defect? Not always. Sometimes if you do always see the worst, I mean, people who always see the worst also have a valuable insight because, yeah, they think differently. So no one can tell you how to feel or whether it's right or wrong. But if you feel that you've been in a negative place and that you are kind of responsible for a little bit of that because you find it difficult to change your perspective around, death is really going to help with that. And it's going to put an end to the negativity. Instead, make space for this lovely, blonde Knight of Swords, who's kind of the antithesis to this guy. He's looking down and mourning. He's looking up to the future. He's looking at his power, how he can use his power to decide to bring the sword down and cut things that he dislikes and he does like. And he's able to make decisions that elevate him. He looks to the future. So we've got a very strong kind of left and right. We've got a strong sense of duality between what's in the past and what is gone and what is over now, and what is being given life and what is new and what's coming in. And the good thing is that it's not the King of Swords, because the King of Swords doesn't care so much about what makes him happy and what his passions are. The King of Swords, think of the King of Swords as a judge. The King of Swords just says, well, this is what the law says, so I'm going to put the gavel down and judge this way, even though emotionally I don't agree, because that's the law. And it's not about my feelings, it's about reason and what's been written here. He struggles with that, so that's a benefit because you're not going to make decisions simply based on the facts and figures. I've got 2 cups left, so I have to maintain those and run home and be safe and whatever. He can say, do you know what, we've had a loss here, but I'm going to make a decision to have more cups made and we're going to fill them up in the river. And that's a much more proactive energy. It makes him happy. It gives him power. It gives him a sense of regaining control, and that's what you've got today. Let the past die. It's done. If it isn't done, make sure you revisit it quickly. You don't spend the whole day with it. As they say, look to the past, but don't stare. Or look back, but don't keep looking back because you'll start going backwards. So glance back and say, I'm still angry about David leaving me, or I'm still annoyed that the company went bust and I still have to give all of my payments to the tax man. I'm still irritated that I competed and I came last, and I'm really sad that I lost any hope of being signed with a professional, etc. Everyone has disappointments and losses. You're able to finally say, enough of this. It is what it is. It didn't work out. I'm not going to torture myself for the rest of my life. I'm putting that to bed now. Goodbye. Let's get in the coffin and see you later. Sayonara. And instead, I'm going to look at the opportunities that still lie ahead, which is the only way to think, because the best is yet to come. The future is unwritten. The past is written. It's over. You can't change it. And the only thing you can change is what's going to happen in future. I really think that's a big reason to live, to realize that, you know what, my life has been a certain way, but I'm going to make it different. And I'm striving to get somewhere in life. And he embodies that. He hasn't lost hope. He doesn't just believe in the legal system. He believes in himself. And he believes that if he takes control of his life, he can get to where he wants to go. And that's true. If you take control of your life and your perspective and your mind, you manifest whatever you want. And you bring that sword down, and those ideas vibrate at a certain frequency, and they bring reality to you. You become magnetic. So very simply, don't be him today looking at the past. Be him today looking at the future and looking up towards the good things in life. And let nature and the cycles of life. Let those aid you, because negative cycles have now come full circle and they're done and complete. Death can be the completion of a day or the start of a new day. You have to have something end very clearly so that you have a very clear beginning. And that's what we are here. We're between the doorway, between the past and the future, and you're standing in the middle of the doorway. Make sure you go towards the future and you control that future instead of feeling a victim to the past and revisiting it for hours and hours and hours on end, wallowing in pain. If you have to revisit, do it for 5-10 minutes in a meditation, or ask your guides to help you and say, this failure or this pain, I am now consciously putting an end to it. I'm letting it go. I'm sending it down the river. Bye-bye. And I'm embracing my bright new future. Numbers, we have a 5 and 13. That's 18. A court card is 1, so that's 19. 1 and 9 is 10. 10 is 1 in numerology, and 1 is the magician. 1 is about taking action. 1 is about listening to spirit, to your guides, and then taking that energy and that info and putting it to use in the real world. In this case, listen to your guides and your own mind as well, and your will and what it is you desire. Will it, manifest it, take action towards it, and you'll be very pleased by the end of the day. You'll end up in a much more positive position at the end of Monday the 6th than you were to begin Monday the 6th. So have a fabulous day. If you'd like a personal reading with me, then please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. On the website, click on book your reading to order a reading with me. If you like this video, then please give it a thumbs up. Hit subscribe to be part of the channel and join all of us here. It's a lovely community that we've built here. I'm so grateful. And like, subscribe, and share the video online if you want to share it with other people. That would be super helpful. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. As I said, if you'd like a personal reading, then get in touch via the website. I use tarot, astrology, numerology, and my intuition, and I can answer any questions you have. So have a lovely start to the week. Have a lovely Monday, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.